Welcome to
PIA.
PIA.
Welcome to PIA
2009.
PIA 2009.
2009.
Back in the PIA 2009.
Base jumpers, even here at PIA, we got something for you. So here I am hanging out in the BASER booth with Sonic, world famous bass guy. Welcome to PIA, man.
How you doing, man?
Nice to see you.
Thanks for stopping by.
So what's happening here at the show with you guys?
Well, it's our first PIA show where we're showing off our new BASER container system. It's the first TSO'd bass rig where you can, as you already have, the chest mount reserve snapped on.
Oh, wait, hold up. You said TSO.
TSO.
So I can jump out of an airplane with this thing.
Yep.
No way.
Yep. That's the whole idea of it. Start in a safer environment. Opposed to your first base jump being off that bridge or something, you can actually take the entire system, canopy, container, strap on the chest mount, legally get on a plane, and practice your gear in a safe environment, thousands of feet with no obstacles, to learn all the skills you really need to survive in base jumping, your canopy skills, your packing skills, and all the things involved with base jumping.
Wow.
Even to, from beginners, as we were almost discussing earlier, that you want to go wingsuiting off a big cliff, where with this system, you can put it on, jump out of a plane, and really develop your deployment skills. From deployments to unzipping, grabbing your toggles, and really getting flying with wingsuits. And it's something that I think that's going to really bridge the gap between the base jumpers and skydiving. It's really this hybrid rig that I think is going to allow people to get into the sport safer, most importantly, and easier. And there's been a lot, the base scene has always been this sort of at the drop zone, hey, let's go jump here, and this back, thing that people didn't really talk about.
Well, I hear that a lot, but I live in Utah. In Utah we've got lots of legal objects.
Yeah.
We're right by the bridge, so we actually don't hear that. We got the base jumpers packing their rigs right on the floor, right next to the skydivers.
Yeah, well, that's now, and that's a lot of things. I mean, Twin Falls didn't become a legal site till only a couple of years ago. Moab didn't become a full legal site till only a handful of years ago, and there's now becoming more because it's becoming more acceptable. As we all know, we see it more in TV and commercials and television than we almost see skydiving, because it's one of these sports that's more in your face that you can see and a little bit more exciting.
Well, it's more rad.
Yeah, I mean, skydiving, where the dot's way up there, opposed to, hey, the 400-foot bridge, I can say, hey, that's Douglas up there. I see him, and you could see it more in your face. And it's also a lot of the base jumping has always been that illegal side too, of trespassing late at night, and I'm one of those guys that I don't need that, I don't want that. I want to go to the legal places and enjoy a sport.
Wait a second. Last night I saw you underneath the towers over here with red and blue lights spinning down in front.
No, it wasn't me.
Oh, okay, all right. I'm not saying what building it was, but you sure that wasn't you?
I'm positive. Yeah,
Okay.
no. I sort of promised the wife no illegal jumps, but yeah.
No illegal.
That's correct.
On
my side.
Yeah, the last thing I need is my gear confiscated or something
So
silly.
I got to ask you, what's a system like this cost?
Well, the container system, which is the container and the components that come with it, starts at $1,100. Canopies, depending on size, can go from $1,400 up to $1,500–$1,600. The reserve system's separate. The reserve container is about $425, and then you got to get a round reserve to put in it. And brand new round reserves can cost as much as $1,100+. A lot of my stuff is some old stuff I found on DZ.com, some old Phantoms, Nationals, things that a couple $100 I was able to get, but they have to be TSO'd. It's very important for the whole system that it has to be TSO'd, or it's not a legal system. So that's very important. Yeah, so overall,
I got to ask you. You talk about it's got to be TSO. Ultimately, the end of the day, it comes down to what the pilot's going to let you do.
Yeah, hey, I mean, if a pilot wants to let you get on with a base rig and jump out of his plane illegally, and
that's not where I'm going with this. But do we need to educate pilots when they see a guy walking on to the drop zone wearing this kind of setup? Do we need to educate him to make sure he understands that this is legal?
Sure, I think for modern day pilots, yeah, but a lot of the older pilots, we've all seen this system like this. Obviously, this is very familiar with the military system. All military systems are a single canopy backpack system with a chest-mounted reserve. So it's not that it's that new, it's just newer technology with some older technology. The saying I've been pretty much saying is back to the future with this system. You know, and I'm proud of it. It's
obviously you talk about it, your eyes light up. You know, we can tell you're pretty excited and proud of this product.
Yeah,
I think it's cool that you're thinking about a way of bringing base jumping to a level that maybe other people can start to enjoy or at least work with and make a decision. Are they ready for that crack opening? Are they ready for that fast opening kind of a thing that you can't experience unless you're going off an object? But now you can do it from an aircraft.
Yep. It's this past year I've done a lot of seminars and camps at my home drop zone, the ranch up in New York, where there's a lot of those professional people that want to be out in the open. They want to go bridge day, get the one base jump in or wherever they can and experience the system. At the DZ, they put numerous jumps on it before we went down to bridge day, and a good 6-7 of my students that did their first jump at bridge day. Pretty much the consensus was after they did their jumps was, I wasn't that scared. I'm like, what do you mean? They're like, I jumped this system out of the plane 20 times. I know the system. I know the canopy. I know the skills. I developed them and learned them. So that actual first step was the scary part. But after that, the confidence in the gear was there. Because a lot of times, the last thing you want to have is gear fear.
Right.
From skydiving to base jumping. So the confidence that was instilled in them from the practice jumps out of the planes, they took that to the bridge, and it made it that much easier, that much safer for them. And again, safety is my big key. That's what it's all about.
Well, I got to tell you, this is what convinced me that I think it's time for me to start jumping off objects was this system. And so that's one of my goals for this year is to be able to develop enough skill to take my wingsuit off of some of the objects that I'd really like to take my wingsuit off of.
Well, this is something that you can practice with and learn with. And again, since you can go to 12,000 feet, you can practice your deployment sequences a couple of times before you actually deploy, and then when you do deploy, you don't have to worry about an object to slam into if you're off-heading because of the wingsuit and the issues that cause, make it more difficult for deployment. And then zipping yourself up, unzipping yourself to grab your toggles and working on how quick you could do that, and that's another step just besides the deployment. But I'm glad that you're wanting.
So you're going to come out to Utah and teach me how to use this thing.
Tell me
when. Go hang out up at the bridge and
tell me when.
Have some fun. Let's go now. Weather's great.
Baby, I'll be right back.
Yeah, I don't think so.
There's a real nice building. Just look right up there.
It's funny. A couple of the guys that wear my gear had jumped the Silver Legacy a couple years ago for a promotion, and I tried to have that done for the symposium, and well, they had some issues last time because they were wearing skis for a stunt that they were doing for Red Bull. You saw that?
I saw that.
They popped off one ski once, and
oops.
The owners were like, it was cool, but I don't know if we want to do it again. And I had everything lined up to happen, but then they sort of just bagged it.
But I think it would sharp cool. Object thing's a little bit.
Yeah, but I thought it would have been a really cool thing from the seminars during the day at 3 o'clock when people come over to the exhibit hall to stop outside, look up at our hotel, and see people jumping off my system was really what I've loved to happen, but it didn't.
Well, we can definitely see that creative energy at play. So what's next? What's next for you?
What's next? I'm gonna start to, as funny as this sounds, do base camps at drop zones, where I'm bringing the base gear and the base sport to the drop zone. And yes, I know it's not a base jump out of a plane, but with this system, you're getting all the practical experience and everything you get to need to know and learn, again, in a safer environment, that when you finally get to that bridge and your toes are on the edge, you have full confidence in your gear, full confidence in what you're doing, and that next step is much easier.
Sounds awesome.
It is, man.
Awesome. Yeah. Looking forward to seeing you out there. Make sure you check out the BASER and the BaseX system. Make sure you check out Sonic online.
UC3, baby.